Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Let's run through a NIO recap. NIO, hot stock, electric vehicle stock. Now, I talked about this one this morning. Heavily analyzed, unusual call option activity candidate always. Whenever I think about unusual options activity as of lately, NIO, unusual call option activity, meaning the bulls are out, the bulls are in charge, all right? This one always comes to mind for me. It's at the top of my master watch list just by default, just because, simply put, if you see this green line right here, the 20-day simple moving average line on NIO, all right? Nice support, and it's bouncing off of it almost every time with the exception of one. Markets were a little ugly that day. So far, since it really started getting moving here back in May, all right? Now, let's run through exactly what happened here, tracing back to this morning's video in which I talked about NIO on a possible red to green move. Well, that move happened. We made this trade. Members and I went ahead and made this trade. I alerted the entry, up about 10 grand and counting so far on the trade. NIO, October 16th, all right? Now you're going to see the calls on the left and the puts on the right. This is very important to understand. This is a basic of options trading, but this is very important to understand if you're new to the world of options trading. When you're buying to open a call option, you are bullish. When you're buying to open a put option, you are bearish. In this particular case, we went with the 19 strike here. You're going to notice the total volume across all these options now. I mean, look at this one right here, 6 grand and counting on total volume traded. Look at this one right here, the 20 strike. 15 grand and counting in total volume on the day. This is on the day only, all right? So what this means is on this particular contract, over 6,000 contracts have been traded on these. Now we're going to take a look at the puts, right? Total volume, that's not even close to what we're seeing in terms of where the bulls are, all right? So bulls clearly have the wheel here. This is a very hot stock. Red to green move as it took place is immediately when even more unusual call option activity started happening on NIO this morning. All right, this has become a fairly repeatable trade in 2020. Just like I mentioned this morning when it was actually red to start the day. However, yesterday toward the end of the day, it started to get a lot of unusual call option activity taking place. I did not buy into that yesterday. I waited patiently till this morning. Glad I did too, or I would have opened upside down actually. And when it went ahead and did its thing, made a clear support level on 20-day simple moving average line resistance, that's when we went ahead and hopped in. At the time, NIO was trading right below $19. So what this means is I bought to open the 19 strike calls here, and that for me was on unusual call option activity sweeps here on the 19 calls. And what this means by making this move is that I was anticipating NIO to go to 19 or higher on an option contract, which is not super far out of the money and therefore very risky, all right? Too deep in the money and therefore very slow moving, but a nice happy medium with increasing unusual call option activity happening, where the bid and the ask are nice and tight so I can get in at a reasonable price, and equally as important, get out at a reasonable price, okay? And, you know, everything finite about the option contracts, which you can learn all about from me down the road, is delta, liked it, theta, liked it. Delta is your rate of change, theta is your time decay, all right? No one really likes theta in the options market, at least not the way we trade here. Everybody loves a nice delta in the option market. That is when it's a winning trade, right? NIO, awesome move right from this morning's video. Now, if this is a stock you've traded before and had success with, awesome. I mean, take a look back at this chart through 2020. This has been a buy the dip, just, you know, buy the dip and get paid pretty much right off support here on the 20-day simple moving average line, with the exception of this one move right here, all right? Markets just tanked on that particular move, and NIO didn't go with it. That said, markets are, for the most part, red today, all right? NIO's doing its own thing. It's living in its own world. Awesome name to keep on watch on all these little dips. It's certainly at the top of my list. This is exactly how this move happened today. There hasn't been some amazing headline about, you know, this stock's going to get bought out by Apple, or this stock, you know, Tesla's going to go ahead and acquire NIO for $10 trillion or something like that. We haven't seen any news like that on this one today. All right. This is a repeatable move, which makes its move consistently. And no wonder Wall Street is always so interested in this stock. All right. A lot of retail traders are going ahead and making this trade. All right. I myself made this trade. I went ahead and alerted it to members. So a lot of members made this trade too. Okay. On the other hand, I don't want to be trading with most retail traders. I want to be trading with the most successful traders in the entire world. They reside on or around Wall Street, right? Somewhere within the world of high frequency institutional trading. That's the data we source. That's the option and dark pool activity I source. And you pair that together, you've got names like this coming up all the time, all right? I'm off to make my next trade with members now, but what I want you to do is check out the video that I posted this morning if you didn't. That link, I'll make sure that link gets right below, all right? And if you really want to start making money in the market, I want you to go ahead and join me so we can start making money together. I hope this has been a valuable learning lesson. Trades like this are happening all the time. If you want to keep this one on your watch list for yourself, go right ahead. You want to start trading with me? You know where to find me. Talk to you soon, ladies and gents.